Hi, I'm Jennifer Quick with Soul Clarity Coaching. Welcome to this video. In this video, I am going to share with you 3 mistakes that women make that disempower them spiritually, emotionally, and financially. So start with, who am I? Why should you be listening to me? Many of you know me as an Akashic record reader, a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual healer, or a life coach. Those are my main hats that I walk through this life with. But I am also 27 years an entrepreneur. And 15 of those years I have spent in the spirituality field. In partnership, I ran a clinic downtown location, wellness center for 10 years. As well, in partnership, I ran a retreat in a remote location where we did short and long-term wellness days. That's my background. Now, in regards to the financial spiritual connection, I have always been very interested in business. It's in my makeup, it's who I am meant to be. And here's a little tip, starseeds. Most of you starseeds are moving towards that entrepreneurial step. Because part of our evolution is eventually we have to step into full responsibility for the world that we manifest around us. And that means being into entrepreneurship or some other form of being responsible for the money that we generate, which allows us to produce whatever's in our life. That aside. So let's dive into this. Let's dive into the 3 mistakes that women make, which is why you're here, right? Let's dive into that. The first mistake that women make is that we overgive and we overserve. Why do we do this? Because we are caring, nurturing, and people pleasing by nature. It's what we do. We want everyone in the world to feel joyful, fulfilled, and loved. That's all we want. It starts with our intimate family and it spreads out, and really in the heart of it all, we all just want world peace and love and joy for everyone. That's our nature. The problem is that when we overgive and we overserve, we deplete our own energy. And even worse, we rob the other person of learning their experiences, learning their lessons, and growing for themselves. Because when we overgive and we overserve, we are going beyond what we are responsible for. And we are taking on someone else's responsibility. This doesn't mean that you can't help somebody, but it's the difference between helping somebody and being asked to help. When somebody else asks you to help them, they are still taking the responsibility. You are now a resource that they are using to meet that responsibility. But when you overstep and step in and take on a responsibility to help somebody out without being asked, now you're taking that responsibility away from them, in which case you're taking away the opportunity that they have to take responsibility for their own life. And what ends up happening is it ended up getting, as they say, kick the can down the road, right? Because in the future, they're going to have to meet that obstacle and it'll probably be bigger. It'll come back to them. Think of it this way. If you teach a child in kindergarten to tie their own shoes, okay, you make time in your day, you hold a safe space so that that child can take his time and practice tying his shoes every single day. Within a short period of time, they're going to know how to tie their shoes. And so as they go through the rest of their life, they'll know how to tie their shoes. But if you don't give them that space, that safe space to learn how to tie their shoes and to practice it to the point that they know it, then they become that child in grade 4 who's wearing Velcro shoes because they haven't learned how to tie their shoes. Then you become that teenager that still doesn't know how to tie their shoes. And that's the problem. And then they become an adult and they still don't know how to tie their shoes. Can you imagine what it would feel like as an adult to go and ask somebody, can you show me how to tie shoes? Like, that becomes a much bigger problem. There's also a lot less shoes available for an adult that doesn't know how to tie their shoes. Your choices on shoes are limited. And I personally like shoes and choice. But anyhow, that's a sideline. But do you get my idea? Do you understand what I'm saying about that? So stop overgiving and overserving. You're robbing somebody of the experience. Plus, you're depleting your own energy because it's not your responsibility. And when we overgive and we overserve, that energy comes from somewhere and it's usually robbing from ourselves. All right. And when we rob from ourselves, we're also robbing from our loved ones. Think about the impact it's having on you personally, your spouse, your children, your parents, your friends, because every time you're overgiving and overserving, taking on someone else's responsibility, you're having less time for those who rely on you and want your help and asking for it. So that's a way of thinking about it. It also, your efforts can be undervalued and rejected. A lot of times this overbearing, this overgiving and overserving is seen as overbearing, interfering, and being nosy, right? It's rejected. So really rein that in and just identify what are you responsible for, what are you not responsible for. So second thing that women do that depletes their energy, and it's a lack of self-care or false self-care. This is a big one, false self-care. There's a lot of talk out there about how we're supposed to give ourselves self-care. And so a lot of women know I'm taking time for myself, I'm doing self-care. But look at what they actually do. Okay. The definition of self-care is that you are taking care of yourself and everything that pertains to you. You're taking care of what you are responsible. You are responsible for your physical body. You are responsible for your health, your relationships, and your finances, your service. Okay. So self-care is related to those three things and how they're showing up in all areas of your life. So what most people do when they do self-care is they go shopping, they drink wine, they eat, they socialize. And these are all great temporary lift ups, but they're only temporary. These activities pretty much have the same effect as social media and TV. In actuality, these activities are depleting our overall energy and lowering our self-confidence and confusing our self-identity and causing depression and lack of self-worth because we're not taking the time to go within and really actually understand who we are and what our needs are and asking for them to be met or doing what's required to meet our needs. So how do we actually meet our physical needs? We do meditation, go within, feel around inside this vessel that you're walking around in, right? Your body is inside of your soul. Well, take the time to look at what this body's requirements are. Exercise, healthy eating, restful sleep, and intimate connection. This is emotional connection. Women really need that emotional connection, right? Not just sex, although emotionally connected sex is freaking amazing and sex is a wonderful exercise, but it's the emotional connection that matters. Those are self-care. And when we have those, that's all about creating a safe space because that's the other thing that women need. The female energy needs, not just women, but female energy in general needs a safe space to be themselves, to be accepted, to not be on a performance, to not be looking out to take care of somebody else, but to actually just be safe to acknowledge themselves. And that's how we create safe space, right? We take care of the body. We take care of our mind. We look at our inner selves. We eat properly. We get lots of sleep and we have emotional connection. Another thing that is really healthy in self-care is decluttering, nesting, and meeting our responsibilities. Okay, so what do I mean? Decluttering. Empty out the closets. Empty out the extra stuff that's in your house that you don't need anymore. Make room for new energy. Make room for growth. Let go. take a picture and let it go, right? We need room in our life for movement. And the more stuff we have, the less movement room we have. Okay, so decluttering and nesting. Nesting is about creating a safe environment. It's about a homey, comfortable environment. Often, people avoid nesting by shopping, but shopping is actually the avoidance of nesting. Nesting is cleaning your house, fluffing the pillows, reorganizing your furniture, organizing the house so that it flows in better harmony with your lifestyle. That's nesting. Connecting to how you actually live and making that an easier flow in how you actually live. All right. And then responsibility, meeting our responsibilities. If there's a responsibility that we have and we're avoiding it, it will sit behind us. It'll be that weight on our back, that peering over our shoulder feeling that is just holding and depleting and distracting us from being all of who we are. So when we avoid responsibility, it is really draining on us. So take a look around and see if you are avoiding responsibility. And I'll give you a hint. Money, the way that money flows through your life, the way you talk about it, the way you think about it, will often reveal where you are showing up responsibly and where you are avoiding responsibility in all areas of your life. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But look at your money. The third thing I want to share with you, the third mistake that women make that disempower them spiritually, emotionally, and financially is false sunshine. I call this false sunshine. This is when you keep such a positive focus that you deny what's really going on. All right. Keeping a positive focus is good, but denying negativity is bad. You can't ignore your way through an obstacle. You can't ignore your way through a problem. You can't sit there and go, it's not happening. I'm just going to be love and joy and not face the details of what's really going on. All right. That's false sunshine. Another thing that happens under false sunshine is acknowledging and addressing problems and obstacles is the best way to move through them. The other one is false sunshine is surrendering to the flow. So surrendering to the flow is good, but advocating responsibility is disempowering. It's very bad. And I see it all the time. I see it where people are saying, oh, spirit will provide. If it's meant to be, the money will appear. If it's meant to be, spirit will make it work. Right? Often there's another family member that is supporting them in their spiritual work. So they're not showing up financially because they're relying on somebody else. They will, those are the biggest ones, right? Is they just, oh, the spirit will take care of it. The universe will take care of it. Somebody else will take care of it. I'm just going to stay in the flow and keep walking along. And what you're really doing is denying what's actually right there in front of you. You're denying your responsibilities. So that is false sunshine. When you're just so focused on staying positive that you're actually denying what your shadows are. A lot of people will deny what they do as well. When you move into a false sunshine, this is probably, I didn't write this down, but this is probably one of the biggest things I see is that you're so busy putting on this positivity that you deny what you're really feeling. And remember, negative emotions are not bad. Negative emotions are showing you where you're out of alignment. If you're angry, stop and look and see where your boundaries are being violated, where somebody is taking advantage of you. That's usually why you're angry. If you're frustrated, what are you in resistance to? What are you fighting against? That's frustration usually. It's resistance. All right. All emotions. And I have a whole video on my YouTube channel about emotions. You can check them out if you like on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/JenniferQuick. You'll find me there. And that's false sunshine. So I'm going to leave that now. So that's the three things. There's overgiving and overserving, lack of self-care, or false self-care, and then there's false sunshine. Those are the three mistakes that women make that disempower them spiritually, emotionally, and financially. With each one of these mistakes, we are disempowering ourselves. There's an underlying theme of rejection, devaluing, and denial, all of which will deplete our energy. All right. Now, I want to talk to you so spiritually, it's pretty obvious what these things do. Emotionally, it's pretty obvious. And I did touch on it basically about finance. I just want to take another minute and talk to you about finance because I have a gift for you. Finances, our money mindset, how we deal with money, it really is a great revealer and an amplifier. It reveals where you are showing up in your life, and it reveals where you are not showing up. It will also amplify who you are and the messages and vibration that you are giving out to the world. All right. So it amplifies everything about you. So following money will really reveal what you need to step into with responsibility. It holds you accountable. All right. With that being said, there is a free gift that I have. If you go, the link should be with this video. But if it's not, you can go to soulclarity.ca/money. And again, it'll be on the soulclarity.ca. It'll be right on the menu. It's called money. And if you go in there, there is an exercise in there that will help you identify some of your money blocks. All right, go and do that. If nothing else, do that, and it will reveal so much to you. As well, on that same page that you'll find the information about exploring your money blocks. You will also find information about the Financial Alchemy Money Mindset Program, which is my newest program that I've taken all that financial coaching and business coaching and everything, and that sacred money archetypes coaching, and I've put it into a mastermind. It is a one-time fee, and you have full access to it to do it over and over and over, whatever exercises you want. I have ongoing coaching. I have tons of support and for all areas of our lives, not just finance. It's just that money will reveal a lot of stuff. So it's really inclusive. It's for all areas of your life, including business and entrepreneurship. So I do coaching in there as well. And right now I have an offer going on. Anybody that signs up for the Money Mindset Program will also receive a free soul realignment. This is a reading in the Akashic Records, and it's one of my absolute favorite readings. How it works is I do research in the Akashic Records to find out find out information about you as a soul, blocks and restrictions that are stopping you at this current time in your life. We remove them. I had to sit down with you for an hour, and I go over the information I find. I send you out. I give you 21 days of homework. And then I meet with you again to further you along on your journey. So that is included right now as a bonus with the Financial Alchemy, along with all the other bonuses that are already built into the Financial Alchemy program. Please check it out. Again, soulclarity.ca/money for your free money blocks exploration. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you, and I'm honored that you spent this much time with me, and I look forward to meeting you. If you have any questions whatsoever, or want to just figure out where I can help you or direct you on your next step, please book a discovery call on my website, and it's just free 15 minutes. We'll sit down and we'll sort out where you're at and help you move forward wherever you are. Love you all. Thank you for joining me. See you later.